What up, it's your boy Dvrth back at it again with another video, and today we're here with Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 Episode 3. Last episode, we had the Yokai Hunters, which was hilarious. To be honest with you, after thinking about it, the Yokai Hunters episode was probably one of the funniest episodes of Mob Psycho, like just in general. I for whatever reason, like I'm not like I'm not gonna scientifically break down the funny, bro, like, or the comedy, whatever, bro. But like, it was definitely one of the funniest episodes of Mob Psycho. Just something about that comedy that they just really nailed it for me. But it seems like the actual arc is picking up. We have the divine tree or whatever, which is just the broccoli that Mob made at the end of the last season. It seems to be taking root within the town or within the city, and giving birth to, or at least if not giving birth to, powering up other spirits, yokai, whatever, and seems to also be just becoming a catalyst for other ethereal things to become stronger. Not 100% sure what's going on with the broccoli just yet, but I am interested in seeing where they take it. Also, as always, just interested in seeing where they take Mob and his character. So we're gonna hop straight into it. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. You're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Mob Psycho or something totally different, the best place to add in, as always, my social media links going to be in the description below. And if you want these episodes early, subscribe to my Patreon, links going to be in the description for that as well. So with all that being said, let's get our headphones, make sure they're on, them bitches is on, and let's just get into it. Okay, bitch, go home then. Oh, ew. Oh shit. Oh, that sucks. Oh my god, really? Yeah, this thing, she's just saving face. Yeah, she's just saving face. Dear god. Oh man. Oh, the slightest thing can ruin you. What it truly means to be a child. Oh shit. Saved your ass. Well, your nose, actually. Give her a handkerchief or something. Please, please. Yes! Riz God! Good shit. Nice. Oh my god. That's good for him though. He could gain a lot of confidence off of just like a couple interactions with people, and that's something that Mob really needs. Yeah, I'm about to say it's a lot of women interested in you, buddy. I mean, like, maybe not interested in you, but oh my god, please give me a Mob Riz episode. I might be getting popular. Oh man, that's funny as fuck, bro. Oh shit. They're most likely looking at your brother, by the way. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Hearing things. Oh my god, 60. Yo, he's changing. What the fuck? Oh! Fight on! Fight on! Oh! On a high horse, 100%. And he's crying. I love this show. Oh my god, that's great. So we're about to have a Mob Psycho popularity 100 episode. That's great, man. And I love that Ritsu was so happy for his brother to the point that he was like, I'm so glad. That's great, bro. Man. I mean, like, like I said before, though, you know, just don't let it, like we've talked about in discussion before, you know, just don't let it get to your head. Don't get too high on that horse, and you should be fine. The confidence is actually a pretty good thing for Mob. It's just that, you know, you like I say, you can get too high up on your horse, or you could, you know, end up losing sight of yourself. Or, you know, it's confidence, popularity. Well, popularity, like I said, is fleeting and fickle. So be careful. Oh my God. It's lovely. Oh my God. What the fuck? Niggas in here with shimmering. What? Oh shit. So they are. Oh my God. This was my fear since episode 1. Oh. He's about to use the energy from the Dvrth. That's, oh my God. He's gonna become Mob, but like, yeah, he's about to become Mob, but like a different Mob. So he'll just take up the. Oh, that's good. Oh, dude. Jesus. Not this guy. Oh, popular with the girls. My God. It's boys. Oh my God. No, stop, bro. Hey, I'm a G now. What the fuck going on? Hey, hold on now. Don't disrespect. I'm a real ass nigga now. Damn it. Right. Why would you say that, my nigga? This man, he's really powered up by that divinity, huh? Oh. Is this true? Oh, oh my God, he's getting pompous as fuck. I love it. But he cut out for these bitches. Stop fucking with him. Oh my God. Some jackass like who? You? Wow. You and me. What did that say? Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh no, he's hot. Damn, he's just getting the lame shit. Oh no, these are serious, because these are probably having something to do with the broccoli. Very bashful about it. Right. Let's see what kind of group it is first. Good God. No shit. I want that. A true man should be the founder of a religious group. At least one. Oh my God. Everybody wants a piece. Oh, that's a lot of eyes on you. Yep, that's a lot of eyes on you. I mean, what you got on right now is pretty dripped. Oh, wow. I know that you're doing this for yourself in some way, but I appreciate you because I know that you're also doing it for me. Damn, that girl got that chin on her. Oh, it's my dog. Hanazawa. That's my dog for real. Yeah, he knows a thing or two about getting bitches. Yep. Here we go. Getting into the main problem here. Oh no. In that time, they're looking at Teru. I appreciate the confidence, Mob, but I think this time they're looking at Teru. But I like that Teru is instilling him with confidence. Let's go. Let's go. W friend. W friend. This man's basically just going in buying Givenchy. Let's go, it's my dog. Oh no, he got the smart monkey. Yeah. Not the best shirt, Mob. No, please. No, not this nigga, bro. What's your name again? I don't even know. Your name is irrelevant. You suck. I fucking hate this guy. Oh no, bro. Please, no way. No. Fucking Dimple. Stop. That is not Dimple. What the fuck? Oh, this is this it? I think this is Dimple. No way. Is it? What the fuck? What the fuck are you? To power you up, of course, but whoa. Bro. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Who the fuck is that? Like, first I thought it was Dimple, just like oh, I thought Dimple was about to get another body, walk up and be like, hey, it's your boy. Who the fuck is that? Or is that Dimple and he's just gained so much power? What the fuck is going on? I think Dimple does have something to do with it, though. At the very least, he has something to do with it. No way he doesn't. Like, he spelled out his intentions pretty clearly. Oh, bro. Ooh, that's... What the fuck? Are we... Oh, bro. And then, like, if it isn't... if it isn't Dimple and it's some... Oh, bro. There's so many ways this could go wrong, man. There's just so many ways this could go wrong, and I'm so afraid. Make sure my phone's turned off. Yeah, I love that shit. Nope, don't care about all of that. Oh, man. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Okay. Let's start where the episode starts. We have a I really like this opening scene. It's a great preamble to the actual, like, theme of the show, Jesus fucking Christ, the theme of the episode, which is like popularity and you know how that affects people and like what that does to people, I guess you could say, how people associate themselves with their level of popularity, and what that does for their confidence, whether it's good or bad. So the beginning of this episode was perfect, right? Because it's something so like simple. Tsubomi sneezes and it bunch of snot comes out, and it would be really embarrassing, right? In all reality, here's why I like it, right? In all reality, this is a non-issue. Let's be real. For most of us here, that is a non-issue. You sneeze, oh, okay, blow your nose, wipe your nose and stuff like that, go on about your day. Total non-issue. Here's why it's really smart to start off with it. Because it's a non-issue, it reminds you that these are fucking kids. These are like middle schoolers. So of course, really stupid shit like this is going to embarrass them. This is going to threaten to embarrass them. So when Tsubomi's like, shit, I what am I gonna do? Like I can't hold my fucking hands like this. What am I gonna do, right? Freaking out about something that is a non-issue, but is a huge problem for her because of the status of her popularity and how dear she holds that to herself, right? Because Tsubomi is so popular, because she, I don't want to say like loves her popularity, but accepts her popularity and cares about it, cares about her social status, I should say. Of course, she is scared that something this simple is going to ruin her. So great preamble to like set up the whole popularity thing, and then on top of that, giving Mob a chance to shine by coming in, getting rid of the girls, and giving Tsubomi the tissues, which Dvrth by Mob, but you know, just kind of easing her mind on the whole situation, and probably for Tsubomi, making her realize how silly the problem was in the first place, right? Like I said, when you are that age, when you are in that grade level, when you are with your friends and stuff like that, and you're a kid, things like that are super serious. Like that's like, oh my god, this is the end of the world. But like once it's over and you know it you know, you get past it or whatever, you kind of sit back and realize like, it wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. I was freaking out for real, but we got through it. It wasn't that bad, right? I think Mob was that for Tsubomi in that situation, that breath of that fresh breath of reality that told her it wasn't that serious of a situation, and brought her that happiness that she probably felt once she was done and through with it all, right? And like walked off and stuff and said see you later and stuff, because yeah, she's in a good mood now. She realizes that situation wasn't really shit, and also that Mob was probably the one that showed her that situation wasn't shit, right? So really liked that opening scene. Now, with all that being said, the one thing that the mangaka for this show does is he is very good at writing. Like, one seems like he writes as if he remembers grade school really well. Like he remembers the feelings and worries, anxiety and fear that he had as a grade schooler, or just as a preteen to teenager, right? And with that knowledge, those memories and stuff like that, he writes that into a story perfectly, right? So we get these moments where you get kids just being kids, and not just kids being kids, but like teenagers being dumb teenagers, or like teenagers just being like, you know, over worrisome teenagers, right? So really, I'm just saying that because it impresses me how well one writes these the teenage characters, right? Because they're usually anime teenage, like, and I don't want to get on a tangent because we're talking about Mob here, but just a short thing here. Usually in anime, teenagers don't exactly act like teenagers, and sometimes not even sometimes, most times they don't even look like teenagers, right? Just look at your favorite anime, my nigga. Look at your favorite shonen. Teenagers usually don't look like teenagers, and they usually don't exactly act like teenagers. And that's not horrible, right? But what's interesting in that situation is that usually when the teenage character shows like themselves acting like a teenager, people usually fucking hate that, and I've never understood that. They're like, why isn't he harder? Why isn't he a real nigga? It's like, he's 13. So in this show, I really appreciate how one sticks to that whole thing of like, no, he's like 13, 14. Like she's like 13, 14. She's going to act like a 13 to 14 year old. Mob is going to act like a 13 to 14 year old. I think Mob's like 15, or no, Mob's like 14. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He's going to act like a teenager. She's going to act like a teenager. These characters are going to act like teenagers. And in the same respect, Reagan's going to act like, you know, Reagan, but also have sage adult advice. So it's the dynamic between the characters are so real. And I think that's what does this show so much justice, is that the dynamic between the characters are so real, and the characters themselves are so real, feel like actual people, or like actual teenagers, actual adults and stuff like that, because they talk like them. They have problems that teenagers or adults would have, you know, where Reagan's like, I gotta get more money, pay bills and all this other stuff. I don't like my job, switch to another job. And you have Mob, Tsubomi, Hanazawa, Ritsu, and all the like, just having teenage problems. So it's great. It's great. And it helps for the show to work on multiple levels. So back to the actual episode, Mob starts feeling himself. And here's the thing, like I said during the episode, popularity is fickle and fleeting. There is no universe in which your popularity will live forever. And honestly, in a lot of situations, your popularity will not live long enough for you to fully enjoy it. So and it can be taken away very, very easily by the simplest things. Same thing with Tsubomi. Now I don't want to go back to that and rehash it again, but the thing with Tsubomi is that I didn't mention this, is that though it was relatively, that was a very stupid like thing to worry about. You know, we can look at that situation and be like, oh, that's such a dumb thing to worry about. Like, it's fine. And you know, you can even be like, but she's a kid. You know, you got to understand that. Of course, you don't worry about that. But the thing is that is a very real fear. Like that's a very real fear, and it's just the fear is justified because, like I said, it is fickle and fleeting. So she's completely right. Like, even though that it was a non problem, it wasn't really a problem at all. It doesn't mean that she was wrong. She's absolutely right. That could have happened. They could have seen her with the snot on her face and be like, it's gross, take a picture and make fun of her. All that. Completely possible. Being a teenage girl is not fun. Being a teenage boy is not fun in many situations, and this is one of those situations. Even if it does seem stupid to you, right? In which it is. It's stupid, but it's true. It could have ruined her. So it's they did a really good job with that. But back on track. The Mob getting a lot of attention from different girls and stuff like that, and just by proxy of being near Ritsu, having girls look his way, even if the glances weren't for Mob. It gave him some confidence in thinking, oh, maybe am I popular? You know, having what's her name, say like, oh, you're pretty popular, huh? And putting the idea in his head and seeing the girls look his way, not exactly at him, but his way, and him thinking, oh damn, I'm kind of popular. He gets into the exact same thing where where now he's having to think about his social standing, his popularity and stuff like that. And more importantly, it gives him a lot of confidence. A lot of where his walk is different, his perception of himself is different. And I love this too, because this is why I say it feels like one vividly remembers what it felt like to be a teenage boy, because like I said, his perception of himself became different, his walk became different, his voice got deeper. You know, he was feeling himself as much as he could feel himself, and he was on 100% high horse, you know what I'm saying? So I love the like, while it's like a cool visual like joke and stuff like that of having Mob you know, have like the chin and the muscles and deep voice and stuff like that. It's all funny and stuff, but it's very real that you would look, you know, you as a teenager would look at yourself, and even as adults we still do it to some degree, at least, where we look at ourselves in a different light, we perceive ourselves in a different light whenever we get into situations where we feel like, oh, I feel like that group of girls was actually looking at me, or I feel like those people really think that I'm cool or something. Like, yeah, of course our perception of ourselves change. So while it is like a visual gag or something to that effect, it's also just very real. So once again, the show working on multiple layers. But it was funny as fuck though. Let's talk about that for a second. It was really well, the comedy of that was really well done. Having Mob be this big buff you know, body improvement club type of person, and it was hilarious, him having the deeper voice, and it's great. The comedy, once again, the comedy in the show is top notch. It's one of the only anime that I watch it, I'm like, that is genuinely always funny. So really good stuff. So yeah, Mob even like admitting to his brother, he's like, I think I'm getting popular, and once again reaffirming that brotherly love that Ritsu and Mob have for each other, and seeing Ritsu tear up to hearing his brother say, I think I'm getting popular, right? Because to him, like, Ritsu, we went through the whole thing with Ritsu and Mob in season 1. Ritsu understands that to Mob, the whole power thing, being strong and stuff like that, doesn't really matter to him. It's adding more to his life, living with no regrets and stuff like that, actually being popular, having a girlfriend, you know, having friends and stuff like that's what matters to Mob, right? He just wants to live a good life. So it's really cool for Ritsu, and Ritsu being the younger brother, by the way, but it's really cool for Ritsu to have this emotional maturity to understand how important it is, or how special it is to Mob that he's getting popular, and how important it is to Mob that he's getting popular, to the point that he's crying for Mob, or he's tearing up for Mob, because he knows how happy Mob has to be, or, you know, how happy Mob has to be in order to, you know, because he's getting to that point of social status. So that was really cool. Really love Ritsu for that, and all that other stuff, right? So the divine tree, from the beginning, this is what I was very afraid of. In episode 2, And season 2, one of the biggest takeaways from season 2 was not any of the crazy fights or anything like that. It was the fact that the collective unconsciousness, or no, not the collective unconsciousness, the collective consciousness can create things, right? Spirits, myths, legends, and stuff are usually created by, or at least can be created by the collective consciousness, right? Where like the Dragger, the whole story of the Dragger was that she's strong because so many people are afraid of her. And the same thing with other situations that we handled in season 2. So that was one of the big things that I took away from season 2, is that the collective consciousness is very fucking strong. So if it can create can create things like the Dragger, you know, stuff like that, if it can create demons and monsters, it can create gods. So it makes sense when I started season 1, I remembered that the tree was there, and what's her name, Mezzo something, started talking about a tree. I was like, I'm surprised nobody's like tried to like turn it into a deity, like, because that would be the next step. We know that people are worshiping it. We know that people have been worshiping the mystery of the psycho helmet group and stuff like that. But as far as the tree, now that people have a physical thing to worship, and it's just broccoli, I mean, it has to go somewhere, right? It's getting powered up, and the power has to go somewhere. So Dimple being the one to be like, okay, well, people need a god. I have not, you know, completed my mission of being God. Let me take all the divinity that comes off this tree from all these people and actually turn myself into a god, right? So we see Dimple using a lot of that power to transform, or at least slowly transform himself, and maybe even transform himself into what we saw at the end there, which we'll talk about here in a sec. So it's a really good next step for Dimple, but it does worry me a lot, because with the whole idea of popularity and stuff, and losing yourself because of that popularity, it would be easy for Dimple to fall into the same situation, right? Where he gains his popularity, and he was there before with the LOL club, group, cult, whatever. But when you gain this popularity, it's easy to lose yourself in it, or stay on that high horse, you know. So really worried about Dimple when it comes to that stuff. We get Mob, you know, talking to, I think this is Mezzo, whatever. I don't remember the girls' names. I'm sorry. I just, you know, they're cool people, but we don't see them enough for me to remember their names. I'm bad at names anyway. But we get Mob talking to his classmate and stuff like that. And get Chad Mob again, and it is fucking hilarious. With him changing his voice, with I think the voice change only came through on this scene where Mob had was on the phone with the girl, right? So once again, being, you know, the show just being very real, in which, yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of guys at Mob's age that gained a bit of confidence and got to talk to a girl on the phone, and yeah, your voice got a couple octaves deeper. Don't fucking lie. Don't fucking lie. It happens, you know. So really cool to continue on with that gag, but also adding to it. So there's that. we have a conversation between Mob and Dimple, which basically going over the whole idea of Dimple wanting all of that popularity, wanting to become a god and do something with that power. Mob asks a pretty interesting question, or a pretty important question, which is, what do you do when you become a god? And yeah, good point. I don't think you do much, right? I don't think being a god would be very fun at all. In fact, in a lot of ways, and I won't get too philosophical on you because it's Mob Psycho, man. It's a fun watch. It's not like we're talking about JoJo where I gotta crack the Da Vinci Code or anything. But if I'm being real with you, it's probably not fun being a god. It's probably not that fun. It's actually probably terrible. By all accounts, it's probably terrible. But yeah, they have a little conversation between each other, or between the two, and you can kind of tell, which is another cool thing in this episode. You can kind of tell the different ways that Mob interacts with people during this episode, and I think that's something that you kind of have to pay attention to in this episode, which is the different ways that Mob interacts with people. When he talks to Dimple, he seems to not give a fuck about what Dimple is saying. Now, is that because Dimple said the whole thing of like, they weren't really looking at you, right? Like, I don't think you're actually popular, right? And maybe that's something that Mob took some sort of exception to, and was like, okay, well, fuck you. And decided that because this person isn't propagating more of his happiness or more of his confidence, then why should I have a meaningful conversation with this person, right? Which is something that it very real. Sometimes when you feel like the vibe is off with somebody, you're talking with somebody that you feel like they're just kind of putting you down, in a way, you tend to like turn your brain off and just go on autopilot. Now, Dimple is right. They weren't looking at you. It wasn't that big of a deal that people wanted to hang out with you, and all the other stuff. But it's also very important, right? Like, just because it's not exactly what it looks like doesn't mean that it isn't very important to Mob. And I think that's where Dimple kind of went wrong with that conversation. So Mob just like kind of conversates with him, not giving a fuck about what he's saying. Which, once again, like I said, pretty cool that Mob's whole demeanor changes depending on who he talks to. But Dimple goes on a rant about like, people need a god, and you should be that god, you gotta go for it, blah blah blah, showing that he's still kind of using Mob or at least wants to use Mob in a way, because even Mob's like, and who's gonna be that god, right? And obviously Dimple believes that it'll be him, which that's a no-go. So once Mob, and I need to see what the book said. Actually, I don't think it matters, but I am interested in You and Me. Okay, so the book's called You and Me: Working Out the Ultimate Solution to Everything. The proper way of reading novels, the proper way of reading The Room. Oh god. which is interesting. These are all self-help books. Of course Mob would have these. But it's interesting that the You and Me book falls off. Maybe this is me looking a little bit too much into it, but the whole You and Me book falling off, while the conversation between Mob and Dimple breaking down kind of it feels like to me it signifies the two not growing apart, but well, yeah, maybe growing apart, but it kind of for me symbolizes the two fracturing a little bit, right? Just off the conversation of Dimple wanting to be a god and Mob saying that sounds stupid, right? It's almost like a foreshadowing for what we got, for what we possibly at least got towards the end there, which is maybe Dimple, maybe Dimple. Now, I think we've talked enough without getting to this, but what the fuck is going on with this? So they go to the whole psycho helmet religion thing, whatever, after shopping for clothes and stuff, which it was cool. I really liked that. And a newcomer shows up, this mob looking thing, right? Now at first you could be like, oh, it's definitely Dimple because it looks like a crude recreation of Mob, and as far as we know, the only person who knows who Mob is Dimple, and like the only person who knows who Mob is and can do something like this is Dimple, right? But you also have to realize that what the caricature that is being represented here is not exactly Mob. It's the caricature off of the poster. So even then, you could play devil's advocate and be like, see that it's not actually Dimple, or that's a clue to it maybe not being Dimple, right? Now, I personally, do I believe that it's Dimple? Yes. In some way, shape, or form, I believe that this is Dimple doing this. Whether that itself is actually Dimple or Dimple's remote controlling that body that seems to be created out of the roots of the broccoli. Now, which tells me that there are three things that are probably happening. Either one, like I said, Dimple just gained so much of that divinity power or whatever that he decided to turn himself into that and gave him that form so people would see him and be like, oh, that is him, and blah blah blah, or Dimple's took some of the roots from the broccoli, and he's like kind of controlling it like as kind of like a drone, I guess. Or thirdly, is thirdly a word? Third of the examples, possible whatever. Third, he could be doing the same thing that he did with Ritsu, only this time it's like an actual husk. In which I think, now I think about it, when he had the LOL cult, he did the same thing. He used a husk to like host his spirit and act as a conduit for that husk, and his power. So it's a possibility that he's probably doing that as well. So either way, it all boils down to Dimple is taking the matters of being a god into his own hand, which could clash heavily with Mob, and a lot of this episode was all about getting carried away when you gain that popularity. This may be what it's all about here. So it could definitely get bad. It could definitely be bad. Like, this could go very horribly wrong. But yeah, I really loved this episode here. It was funny, the gag was great, and it seems like people are disappearing for whatever reason. Hopefully Dimple hasn't gone too far. I'll say that much. Hopefully Dimple has not gone too far. Mob, before we sign off here, I do want to talk about the conversation that Mob had with what's his name? Reagan. How could I forget the goat's name? The conversation that Mob had with Reagan, which actually doesn't seem all too interesting in a way. I mean, like, it's Reagan, so there's always something interesting to like hear, but not exactly honing in on what was said, but once again how Mob reacted to the conversation. As I said, one of the really fun things about this episode is seeing how Mob reacts or interacts with different people. With Dimple, he kind of like shooed him off, like, because he didn't perpetuate his confidence. So because of that, he was like, okay, bro, like, you're killing my vibe, go away. With Ritsu, he confided into him about his confidence. With Hanazawa, he sought help, and Hanazawa helped him out with his confidence and perpetuated that, even when, because I'm sure Hanazawa knew that the girls were looking at him. If Hanazawa noticed the girls, he most likely knew that they were looking at him. But Hanazawa decided to do the good friend, go the good friend route and be like, that I think that's true. I think you're getting really popular. I think the bitches really fucking with you, bro. They really that's W Riz, bro. And he was down with it. He spent the whole day, shopping for clothes with Hanazawa. With Reagan, he's bashful, which is cool. It's a different reaction to the to his popularity. When Reagan asks, like, hey, what's been going on, he doesn't want to say anything. Now, it's not because it's like a bad thing or anything like that, but it is embarrassing to talk about popularity like that. In a lot of ways, of course, Mob has parents, but Reagan is like a father figure to Mob, or a mentor. He's a mentor to Mob, and with mentor figures, whether it's like a father figure, a mother figure, a matron or something like that, whatever, it's always kind of embarrassing to talk about how popular you think you are to your parents or your guidance, your what do you call it, guardian, whatever, right? And Mob takes this kind of approach with Reagan, where he doesn't really want to talk about his newfound popularity and stuff like that, because he feels like you tend to feel like in situations like this that it's not as cool in your head as you think it is, or it's not as cool outside in the real world as it is in your head. Outside of all of that, you fuel it, but when somebody asks you, especially when it's a parent or just loved one or whatever, it becomes embarrassing. So really liked the whole Mob being bashful about telling Reagan what's been going on, but then also Reagan showing his support. Now, granted, of course, Reagan sees this as an opportunity too, but with him giving him the 5,000 yen, stuff like that, and just straight up being supportive in his own way, even if it is him being like, oh, opportunity, they get a lot of money. He was still being very supportive of what Mob wanted to do. So really appreciate Reagan for that. He's a real one. So really great episode. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed this episode. I love how real Mob Psycho is as a show. It's so, and it's not like dark. You know, like usually when a show is real, it's dark. But no, Mob Psycho's not dark. It's just that shit's real. Yeah, it's popularity sucks. You know. So yeah, great episode. Really enjoying this season and where it's going. Though it seems like this shit's gonna hurt because I rather not Dimple fracture from the group and end up hurting himself out of, you know, out of whatever he's trying to do, because I would like for Dimple to, you know, stick around for a very long time. But if he does go down this path, I can see a situation where Dimple does get himself in a where Dimple gets himself in a situation where he can't get himself out of, or anybody for that matter. So very afraid of that. Very afraid of Mob losing himself the same way. So yeah, it's gonna be fun though. It's gonna be fun. So if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. You're just a lurker. I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Mob Psycho or something totally different, the best place to send that in, as well as my social media links, going to be in the description below. And if you want these episodes early, subscribe to my Patreon. Link's going to be in the description for that as well. We also have Discord if you want to talk more Mob Psycho or anything else. Did I say the Patreon? If I didn't, oh well. So with all that being said, let me get my off button ready. There it is. No, there it is. You all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.